Hello, welcome back for part 12 of the Halloween special. We are definitely in the closing phase of the game here. We just have the two opponents left, the teal player who has just this one town which we are about to pretty comfortably take over, and then there is the green player who is a little bit more scary but wasn't able to stop us from taking that town off him. And then he has two towns left, his starting town and this conflux town right here, which I think is pretty close to his starting town as well. So it's looking fairly positive, and I think there is potential to actually win the map here. Might not happen, but I feel like we've got to be reaching that point pretty soon. We're going to pick up some knowledge here, and we're just going to go into this portal, and we're going to follow this all the way down. I wasn't really planning to use Aligar to get the dead man's boots, and this whole endeavour that I'm on to bring Galthran the Cloak of the Undead King is probably not actually going to happen, but we will keep going and we'll see if it happens. You never know. It could take quite a while before we actually take out the green player because Galthran's not really anywhere near them right now. We do have Aislinn to potentially go and push in that direction, and I think we should, because on looking at this in closer detail, I was a little bit worried at one point because there was a hero somewhere around here, and I feared that they were going to go towards this barbarian town and take that over, but actually when you look at the map there's actually no way through to that town from where green currently is. I think it was this hero here, Brynden. He's back to having several archangels, so he's not as strong as he was before, but he's definitely picking up lots of units and could be a big threat. I'm a little bit worried for Aislinn, who I was thinking would go and attack. But yeah, if we follow this path and we go north, I'm pretty confident that that's going to be the way to Green's starting town. And that would make sense because this town was originally Green's town before we took it ourselves. So it seems pretty likely that Green originally came from up north, and we are just going to follow that along. Hopefully not encounter Brynden, because I genuinely think that that would be a loss for us. And we would lose Aislinn potentially if we can't run her away. But overall, I think it's going to be worth a go. Might still be able to catch them out, and if nothing else, we can do a little bit of damage to Brynden. And I can't really see what else Aislinn's going to be doing at this point. Charna is pretty much just a showcase hero because she's not really anywhere even remotely relevant. She's picking a lot of things up. She has an absurdly large number of skeletons, 1,400 skeletons at this point. But she is nowhere near anything relevant. So we are just gonna carry on with her for now, but I wouldn't be surprised if nothing of note happens with her at all. Should we just accept 16 going down? Probably not, to be honest. We should take the fight, just because the skeleton warriors are a little bit more precious than the actual skeletons. We're going to go forward and we're going to attack these, and I don't think they should be able to get a kill, as yeah, they won't. Hit these, and then going to have to go to the next round. Yeah, no reason to take any losses here. And we'll take out the gremlins. Oh, they actually want to join us. That's kind of bad. I think if I accept, obviously I'd have to get rid of one of my other stacks. And if I don't accept, I'm pretty sure they just run away. Oh no, I can chase them down, perfect. Okay, that's much better. I'd much rather have 25 skeletons than a load of completely pointless gremlins. There's not even a tower town on the map to actually upgrade those, even if we wanted to. Voy, I'm just going to leave in the fortress town until the start of next week. She could also go for the dead man's boots. She could probably do it now as well, but I'm going to wait until next week just to be safe. And Moendor, it's mostly just here to pick up various resources and things like that Charna's left behind. And I could also send him to this town at some point, just to be the defender of that town. Not that we really need one, but the option is there. And Shakti, does Shakti actually need his wraiths? It's going to slow him down, so we'll pass it back over to Gerd, and we'll take the extra vampires. And we are just going to get as close... Actually, wait. Did I actually take it back? I did. Okay, I have got the vampires, Cal. Okay, we're good to carry on. We're going to go as close to Galthran as we can. And we do have some money in the bank, but I don't think there's a massive need to spend it. Cornerstone I was worried about. You may recall in the previous part I was worried that Cornerstone would get attacked by the green player, but following this up, there's pretty much no way through from above ground, from what I can see. I don't think the flowers aren't passable, so you would think you'd be able to ride through some flowers, but that is an impassable object. And then the monolith actually leads kind of into the middle of our territory anyway, so we don't really need to worry about that. I think Sorg will actually be completely safe. So we will spend a little bit of money, just because we might as well. We can still upgrade a few things in a couple of our earlier towns. This one actually looks pretty much okay. I could upgrade the pyre, but I don't think there's a big need to do that. This town, however, would benefit from a little bit more. We'll go for the blacksmith for now. And we are just going to end the turn there. And we'll see what they do. I do have to be a little bit worried about Grendon. He is actually looking pretty strong. Stronger than I thought. He's got at least 2 weeks worth of growth. In fact, probably more than that. There's another hero here. Doesn't want to take Aislinn on. Okay. Keep Shakti on his way. We'll spread these out just so we can flee if we get attacked. And Galthran is going to go for an attack on Alexandretta, which is the capital of the blue player. Expected to lose 20 skeletons. I'm sure we can avoid that. As long as we don't make a mistake as we did in the previous siege. Oh, thought they might actually go for the attack on the vampires then, which would have just been unnecessary losses, but there we go. At least we got it right this time. We can just reanimate the skeletons we lost. And finish off the pikemen. Now it is on the teal player to come and attack me, otherwise they're going to get counted out of the game. They've got a pretty decent mage guild, which will give us teleport, which is not bad with the skeletons. Anti-magic's always good. I wouldn't be surprised if we already had it though. And then forgetfulness is... it's okay. There's no sign, from what I can see, of the teal main hero, Mafala. I'm not sure where she actually went. As you can see now that Charna has officially overtaken Galthran, not too surprisingly. And Sylvia is said to be the strongest green hero, so it's actually not said to be Grendon. And I think... yeah, in fact, this is Sylvia right here, and I don't know if... I'm kind of surprised she didn't attack Aislinn. She's got much better stats from what I saw, I think. Yeah, significantly better stats. I think we need to look pretty closely at exactly what spells Aislinn has here. So she's got a very decent meteor shower, but that's still not really going to swing a fight, I don't think. Mass slow, of course, is very useful. Resurrection is decent, but I would much prefer Animate Dead, and she doesn't have it. She's got Berserk. Doesn't have Blind. Also got Clone. I feel like we might as well give it a go. I wouldn't be surprised if I can't win this. I am surprised she didn't attack me. Okay, we're not expected to do at all well, but we'll see how it goes. So the Griffins, not the Griffins, but the Phoenixes are going to be immune to Berserk, which is a little bit of an issue. I think Elementals might also be immune to it. Perhaps not. Problem is she does have things like First Aid Tent, Ballista, things like that, and if we Berserk some of these units, they're just going to end up just attacking her own siege engines, which is not really going to be that helpful. Meteor Shower could do a good chunk to something. Lightning and Firestorm vulnerability, okay. Presumably it's the energy elementals that are vulnerable to Meteor Shower, otherwise I'm not really seeing how that makes sense. But yeah, it's not looking too great. I think what I'm going to do is I'll wait with these, let those come forward, and we're going to attack these. And can the skeletons actually reach 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes, they can. That's good. Let's wait again. Ah, that's bad. Okay, they can't actually reach us, so that's not as bad as I thought. So these guys are going to come forward, and we don't have to worry about the retaliation at least. And what I'm not sure about is if I clone these. If I clone them after they've already moved, does that stop the clone from moving this round? Not actually sure how that works. Thing is, if I clone them, I'm not sure where exactly the clone is going to pop up. If the clone pops up to these two hexes just above the skeleton, then it won't actually be able to reach the phoenixes this turn, although it could still do a nice chunk to the harpies, so let's just go for it anyway, as yeah, that's not what I wanted to see. But it's okay. Do take out 2 phoenixes with that, and yeah, we can't reach the phoenixes with these, unfortunately. We should get the kill on these. No. Okay. That wasn't great. She does have much higher stats than we do. I'm just going to send these forward to block off one of these range stacks. And... yeah, I'm not seeing how we can win this. She does just have the much better numbers and much better stats. Once they all start ganging up on the skeletons, I think the skeletons will go down surprisingly quickly. And I don't think I can actually protect them with my 1 stacks either. Okay, she cast Mass Shield, that's not good for me either. I'll send these guys forward just to block off the ice elementals, as those guys go for a big hit on the skeletons and immediately take out loads of them. I don't have Implosion. I could try going for a mass slow, but don't know if that helps me that much. I might be better off just keeping going for Mirror Image or whatever it's called, Clone. I think it might have been called Mirror Image in another game, or I might be thinking of another spell, like Magic Mirror, perhaps. So yeah, I'm not seeing what we can do here. This might have been a mistake. So I do have Resurrection, but we don't actually have any great stacks that are living stacks. Death Ripple is pretty crappy. These guys can't actually reach us anyway, so Mass Slow wouldn't accomplish too much right now. Okay, I'm just going to send these forward. Yeah, they are going to gang up on the skeletons, unfortunately. Okay. This is going to suck. I forgot about the multi-hit. Yeah, that was completely pointless. That was so stupid. That was a big mistake. Yeah, I completely forgot about the multi-hit, so of course once I hit them, they did end up taking out the clone anyway, which completely wasted a spell on the worst possible turn. If I were to Meteor Shower these, I would take out 1. But the skeleton numbers are getting pretty low. And the Magma Elementals can also reach us next turn. She's down to no spell points though. We still have quite a few. So the Magic Elementals are completely immune to Meteor Shower. If I were to slow the magma elementals, I'm not sure they could actually reach the skeletons. And of course, the fact that they have shield is also quite a serious problem. I thought these were immune. Yeah, they're immune to fire spells, but it makes it look like I can actually cast it, but I can't. It's difficult. I do have the option of resurrecting the champions, just to drag things out, but I think when they still have 3 phoenixes left, that's probably not going to be enough. These guys are 9 speed, so I can't get away from them. Can't summon any kind of elemental. I think because they're shielded, it might genuinely be better just to go for Meteor Shower and resist the temptation to clone again. So yeah, wasting that previous clone was really not my best moment. But I'm not sure we would have won it either way. Okay, we still have time. I'm gonna send these up once again to block the ice elementals, as yeah, the skeletons are pretty much getting destroyed now. Down to 132. I think I'm gonna have to flee. As there's no way I can actually hit both of these stacks. If I were to resurrect the champions, I don't think they'd hold out for long enough to make it worth it. I will go for the Meteor Shower, and let's see how much would it cost us to run away. Only 3,960 gold, that's not bad. That was really not good though. 500 skeletons lost. Okay, that's pretty much the end of Aislinn as an actual competent hero, but we do have Galthran, and I think the question now is going to be how can we get Galthran over to the green player as quickly as possible. There might be a kind of unexpected advantage to what just happened with Aislinn, which is that we can now bring her over to here. And let's have a look if there are any artifacts worth passing over. Ring of Vitality. Could be pretty decent, as we already have one just like it. So perhaps not. Although I think we can put it on the other hand. And I'm so good about that clone spell, that was just a really bad moment, but never mind. Right, so it looks like it has to go on a specific hand. Pretty sure this is... It's not a bad artifact. But when you consider that this will increase the health of our skeletons from 7 to 8, that's a pretty significant increase actually, so I think it's probably worth passing that over. And everything else I think we'll just hang on to. We don't need 2 copies of View Air. I will take the... No, I won't take the Glyph of Gallantry because it's not going to affect the undead units. And I don't really think we have anything else it's worth keeping. Okay, so we're just going to leave Aislinn here. I think she can actually take these as well because they're not really doing too much for Galthran, to be honest. And Galthran should now be free. It's still a little bit risky because if Mephala shows up with her Archangels, Aislinn could still get destroyed again. She doesn't really have much at all left over now. But I do want to send Galthran to attack the green player, and I'd also like to do the same with Charna. I don't really want to fight those. Or those. Even though I should. I am just going to go to this scouting tower because I said I would. But this is all a massive waste of time. I should be sending Charna to attack the green player instead, but We can still do that potentially. Actually do quite a lot. We should be safe for one more turn anyway, so I won't worry too much just yet. Okay, ganging up on the angels, but still got 75 HP left. We'll take those out, and I think this should block them off as well. So yeah, they do 33 damage, which is not going to be enough to get the kill. I don't think they can get luck. I will send these just to attack, and we'll weaken them a little bit more. And don't lose a Wraith, so we do just win the fight with no losses, that's great. And we're just gonna see what we can see from this, as it reveals absolutely nothing of value except a very large mountain range. It's not going to have any impact on anything at all, and that was a complete waste of time. But never mind, at least now we know that Charna is going to be our second best hope, or probably even our best hope. She's pretty much better than Galthran at this point, as Aislinn's days of relevance are officially at an end. I'm a little bit nervous to take Galthran away. I could leave Aislinn with a few more units. I could do a bit of a skeleton swap. And then I could wait until the next turn comes around. Not the next turn, but the next week. And just hand over the 127 skeletons to Galthran, but no, I think I am going to leave them as they are. And we're going to see what's the fastest possible route to the green player. So we now want to make it back to this kind of area, as I do also have to be pretty concerned that she's kind of heading towards our Conflux town, which is guarded by Tamika, who's not the worst hero, but not really a great hero either. I think I will risk upgrading the pyre, just so we can have a few phoenixes of our own. And let's also stock up on ranged units and a few energy elementals, just because we already have a decent stack of those. As Alagar's got an okay force, potentially. There's also this Redwood Observatory, which I would actually quite like to check out. Okay, so that reveals pretty much nothing of value. We can go underground there, and that doesn't really help us because there's no actual way around, from what I can see. Yes, that's not going to help us get any closer to Sylvia. However, it does get me closer to the Dead Man's Boots, so I will go in that direction, and I think Gerd's become pretty pointless at this point. We're just going to send her... Let's send her to pick up some peasants or something, I guess. Pretty pointless, but never mind. This guy can pick up some of these resources. And got a few decisions to make about how to get to the green player. So if we go up above ground here, we will appear nowhere near pretty much, so that's not going to work. If we follow this portal, that will take us back. I think that's the way we originally came a long time ago. There's another Dragon Bolt there, but I don't think we're going to use that. So we could definitely get to here. It wouldn't take too long. But it would take quite a while. At least 4 turns of just pure travelling. If we were to go through this portal, we'd pop up over here. And then we could follow down, go underground to our fortress town. Which again, doesn't really take us any closer to anything. I don't think this actually... Well, the green player was there. So at some point, green found a way in. but didn't really do much with it. We have a little look for portals. We might be able to find some kind of way in, but again, I don't think we actually saw any portals around here. That might not work. Okay, we do know of one way to go that will guaranteed take us to the green player. It's just a little bit long-winded, and especially if we need to turn back and defend, it could be kind of bad. But I suppose what I could do with Aligar potentially is I could send him towards Aislinn to help defend her. Because if Mafala attacks, I'm not convinced she's going to survive. Mafala has even better stats than Sylvia did. We have at least weakened Sylvia to the point where Grindon has officially overtaken her as the strongest hero, but yeah, that was not the best fight. I think I got overconfident because she chose not to attack me for some reason, but obviously it was always a little bit stacked against me there. Particularly with the stats. I think if I had the same hero stats, it might have been okay. But, never mind. I think we're good just to end the turn. And we'll see what Teal does. They might come and attack us immediately. So those two clearly just swap something. So green is definitely still building up, still getting stronger. And when the new week comes around, Brendan's going to be that little bit scarier, as not really sure what Sylvie's playing at. She could have gone for me there. That's okay. So I fear that that might have been Mafala. No, it's just Cuthbert, and Cuthbert is kind of weak and kind of crappy, so that's fine. We should actually be fine now just to get to the next week. So Aislinn should be safe there. We are going to follow this path, and we're going to take Aligar. We're going to go and pick up the dead man's boots, as the gremlins want to join us, I should say. They're not going to do anything, but I guess it's useful to have some kind of fodder. And we can actually pick that up without fighting the Hellhounds. I'm not sure if this counts as a misplaced guard or not, because in theory they could just be guarding the way through to the two Dragon Utopias, but I feel like they were intended to guard the dead man's boots, so we will take them on. And we'll see if we can do slightly better. This guy has pretty crappy spells. He does have Bless. Not going to help the Angels, of course, because they have constant 50 damage. I fear that if we send them forward, they might actually get destroyed. I think there are just a few too many opponents there. We don't even have slow. Okay, so our second best stack is definitely the champions. I could go for shield. I think we'll see what they do first. We'll let them come forward. And I'm fairly happy with these guys just to get themselves killed. We're not really going to be making much use of those. These guys are forced to shoot, so let's go for Cerberus, being the most scary stack by far. These guys are going to come and attack the gremlins, who actually do survive, surprisingly, but surely won't survive for long. And I don't think we have any spread damage spells, so we can't actually catch these two out, but we can still use shield if we want to. I do have the option of absorbing a retaliation using the Griffin. I think there's a good chance the Angels would actually... I don't think they would take them out, would they? No. Okay. I'm going to move these out of the way. And... these guys are also in danger, so we'll just move everyone down to defend the Zealots. And I think... just throw these guys forward for now, as that doesn't quite start a new round. We do have one opportunity to cast a spell. I think we'll shield the champions first, and And then because these have already used their retaliation, we're going to be completely safe just to go and attack them. Take out 21 of them, and now we're going to shield the angels. Hit this next stack from the back. Doesn't do too much damage in response. And 28 Royal Griffins probably could go for a decent hit on the Hellhounds, so let's go for it. These guys can attack these. They do a little bit of damage in response, but nothing too bad. Could throw these guys up just to waste the Hellhound's turn up there, but I don't think we need to do that, so we're just going to defend. Those guys are able to attack 2 of our stacks at once, but they're not doing too much damage. Okay, gremlins are dead. These guys shouldn't be able to reach us, so we're fine there. These guys are down to just the 4. They're 7 speed, so we'll still go next with our champions, so we don't have to decide which spell to use just yet. Angel's still looking very healthy. Cerberus are dead, and I think the champions probably would be okay against the Hellhounds up at the top. But at this point the angels can pretty much handle everything, so don't really need to worry. We're going to attack these, just to weaken them. And these guys will skip their turn. Those can't quite reach us, and we will... Well, those only have 2 HP left, so I should have actually attacked them. I'm going to go for the strongest stack, as champion's still alive, and now focus this down. These are fairly healthy, so we can go and attack with these as well. Plus, they have already used their retaliation, and we'll finish the fight like that. So that wasn't so bad. Pretty much just lost the gremlins, which we didn't really need. And I could be tempted to go for leadership, just because this isn't really a main hero, and he doesn't really have much that's actually strong in terms of range units, so let's go for it. And we'll also go for expert earth magic. Pick up the dead man's boots, and now we have to think about the fastest possible way back to Galthran. If we went up there, we would come out back up in the desert. Doesn't make sense to do that. Doesn't make sense just to go south. And we might not actually be able to catch up to him, but we will have a go. So we can at least bring him the vampire's cowl, which didn't take quite as long as I thought. And I could actually chain Shakti with Alagar, just to finish off the Dead Man's Cloak, or the Undead King's Cloak, or whatever it's called. And we can also hand over the vampires, which is definitely going to be worth it. Hand over the vampire's cowl. Now we just need the Dead Man's boots. We will have to sacrifice +2 to each primary stat in order to actually equip those, but I think that's going to be completely fine. That's not really an issue at all. I should have given the scale of the Greater Basilisk over to Aislinn, but never mind. Aislinn's going to be pretty safe, I'm pretty sure. And I think we want to be saving our money for whichever town Sylvia decides to attack, which could still be Castellatus, but could also be our Conflux town. It's tempting to recruit Zidane just because he's at least level 5, which is better than nothing. And I'm pretty sure Voy is A, not threatened by anything, and B, not going to do anything now, so we'll just drop her off in the town, which does enable us to recruit Zidane as a defender. There is a decent chance that we won't get any better hero next week, so we might as well get him in now, just in case. He does turn out to be our best defender against Sylvia. I'm not convinced he'd actually beat her, but he should at least slow her down. Fire Elemental there is not going to be too useful. And then a horde of normal marauders. We'll take out just for the skeletons, as we are expected to take losses, which again is completely needless. Okay. And now we're going to start sending Charna towards the green player. I'm not sure if there's actually any chance she can actually reach them in time, but if she does reach them, she will completely destroy them. So I think we'll be fine with that. And Galthran could go out of his way just to pick up the Dead Man's Boots from Allagar. They're not too far from each other. But they are some way. And plus, we don't really need them, it's a bit of a luxury. So I think, reluctantly I will skip that, and we might still be able to do it later on. We'll start using Shakti as a potential chaining hero. If this actually works. Yeah, I think this should work. Allagar, too far away to drop off his slower units, and none of his units are that slow, so he should still be able to move a decent amount next turn. He will lose his stable bonus, which will slow him down. But it shouldn't be bad. Shouldn't be too bad overall. Myrndor's still got plenty of resources to pick up. And Aislinn is just going to defend. Now we'll see what Teal does. I'm pretty sure Teal will start moving to attack Aislinn at this point, as Green is just doing all kinds of things around the map. I wouldn't be surprised if he still has maybe 2 or more very strong heroes. We know Grinden's very strong, we know Sylvia's very strong, but his other heroes do seem to be doing quite a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does a little bit more and just throws 2 good heroes at us. As there's still no real sign of Mephala. She's going to have to come and attack us, she doesn't really have a choice. So we will buy the Archangels, and we'll also buy a few Zealots. In fact, we might as well just stock up with everything we can. So, best stacks, champions definitely, plus we get bonus growth for those. And choice between Marksman and Royal Griffins. I think we'll go for the Marksman, just for the sake of defending more easily. And a few Crusaders, and she should be pretty capable now of fending off anything that the Teal player throws at her, I'm pretty sure. Galthran can go and pick up some liches, and he may end up with very many liches soon. That is pretty tempting. Okay, expect to lose a vampire. There's no way that should happen. Can't blind them because they're undead. Yeah, that makes sense. Doesn't really make sense. I mean, presumably they still have to use their eyes, right? But obviously the life drain ability doesn't work. We don't want to take too many losses. We have lost over half our spell points. Let's just go forward. Let them attack us. That's where the loss comes from. And then defend with these. I don't want to be too wasteful with the spell points, but obviously do want to keep the vampire stack as healthy as we can. Recruit a few liches, and you can see how expensive those are. We will end up getting quite a few of those soon enough. And we're going to move towards this right here, as I think the Pendant of Courage, I think that's the artifact that Charna has. Yeah, and that's pretty good. So I think that's actually going to be worth taking a very slight detour for. Do we want to chase down the swarm of Grandales? That's going to be a very good Pandora's box, but that would actually be a surprisingly tough fight, and I'm just going to ignore it. Try and send her north instead. Allagar is going to follow this path along. Potentially I could use Voy instead. Our delivery girl. I think I will actually do that just because she's going to be very slightly faster. Angels have 12 speed, whereas dragonflies have I think 13 speed. That's going to help just a tiny bit as well. And we'll just spread those out. Send her over. And this kind of leaves Algar without a purpose, but I think that's completely fine. We'll pass this over too. And we'll of course pass over the dead man's boots. Send Algar to go and defend that. Not that he needs most of these units. I might actually, just to keep Voice safe, we will take the Angels, because they're only 1 speed slower. So I don't see why not. And send Voy on her way to meet Galthran. She's just going to be chasing him. She might not be able to do it too fast, as it should probably be worth visiting Gateway just to get the stable bonus. Although Shakti can do that right now. Oh, he already had it. Okay, that's fine. Archangels are actually going to be faster. How close can he actually get? So he can actually go a really long way. Potentially actually too far for Void to reach him next turn. I think we have to be a little bit careful to get the chain right. Something like this, I think. That's still too far. I think that might just about be doable. She will have quite a few movement points thanks to having such fast units. And Morindor's still got quite a bit to pick up. Aislinn we're going to tuck into the town. Pretty sure she's not going to do anything else now. Gerd I'm pretty tempted just to get rid of, but we'll keep hanging on to her for now. I'll actually put her to sleep. And that makes it sound like I'm going to kill her. No, I'm just going to put her in her little tent, and we're not going to move her for some time. Shakti's going to stay put, and I think there is nothing else that's threatening us right now. Cancellators could be attacked, but we're going to leave some money in the bank so that we can defend with that if we need to. So that guy turns back, so he doesn't have fly. Not sure why he came so close. So yeah, he does have quite a few strong heroes. I think this is Sylvia. Still no sign of Mafala. I think that's her right there. Okay, so she's coming to attack us. Can she reach us this turn? She can't quite reach us. But I don't know if that actually helps us much. She's got a few Archangels. I think it's just 1 week's worth of growth. So we're pretty even in terms of actual units. I'm not sure if there's anything we can do just to make this slightly easier. I could pick up an extra 25 skeletons, I guess. Obviously we should do whatever it takes to make that fight slightly less painful. So I don't think this guy's good enough to hit and run. Plus he might die immediately. Let's check the Mage Guild, see if there's anything decent to hit and run with. So we could just take the fight, see if we can survive 1 round and hit her with an Ice Bolt, but I think it's going to be more useful just to actually scout and see if we can find more heroes and see what else the teal player could throw at us. This could be pretty bad actually, this could be pretty dangerous. She does have much worse stats than Mafala. Plus Mafala has the armor specialty, which is much more useful than the meteor shower specialty. And we don't have blind. This is really expensive, but I think we have to take a risk. That gets us Berserk. I think we already had it, but we also get Chain Lightning, which could be useful. Okay, so Void can reach him. I think we just about got that right as well, that's pretty close. We're going to pass over the Dead Man's Boots. So I don't think Void's going to get much use out of the Sandals of the Saint, but That's fine. We'll send her possibly back to the other town, which I think is guarded by Octavia. Yeah, so Octavia's already in there. Kind of leaves Voy without any kind of purpose, but I guess we could use her as a scout, maybe. She's got a reasonably strong force. She could go and hunt down what's left of the Teal Heroes. Send Alligar to the town. And we'll take a few of the strong stacks. And we're going to put him to sleep as well. Shakti can go a very long way and can in fact reach Galthran this turn. So that's going to be huge. This is where we completely break the game with the most absurdly overpowered combination artifact that is available in the whole of the game. So we possess all the components needed to assemble the Cloak of the Undead King. We will do it. And now, because we have expert necromancy, we can resurrect liches for every kill. So instead of resurrecting skeletons, we are now resurrecting liches, which are several times better than skeletons, and I don't see how Galthran can lose. Expected to take some losses there, unfortunately. So these are 9 speed. If we go for haste on the skeletons, I think they're still going to be too slow. Although we do have expert haste. Okay, I'm going to start by slowing the opponents. And then should be good to go forward. Send these forward too. Now we go for mass haste. We'll send these against the weaker stack, which yeah, doesn't quite kill. These guys can reach us. To be honest, it's a mistake to involve the skeletons at all. Shouldn't actually have done that. Because the vampires can handle everything completely fine. So we're going to bring those back. And just leave it to the vampires. And we're not going to take any losses here, so there's nothing to worry about. I'm just going to skip these guys' turn, because I can't be bothered to wait for the animation. Okay, I didn't actually get the kill, but fine. Defend with these, defend with these. Just the one stack left. Not going to get a kill, and that wins us the fight, and now it's going to get a casual 76 liches just from that one fight against a pretty powerful stack. So if we could find like a 1 stack, a throng of master gremlins, how many hundreds of liches would we immediately get? I said I wasn't going to cheese this map, but a couple of things. Number one, the artifact is just so fun that I think we have to do it, and number two, we would win either way. Like, we're gonna be fine. I just wanna absolutely nail it. I'm pretty tempted just to skip everyone else's turns, because, I mean, Galthran's now got 80 liches, and he's gonna get more and more. I had to do it, just because it's such a fun artifact, and the whole point of this playthrough was to show off how overpowered the Necromancer town is. I mean, it's already overpowered without even mentioning the Cloak of the Undead King, but Cloak of the Undead King is just completely off the scale ridiculous. Do we actually want to do anything? Does it actually matter? I'm going to recruit just a few things here, because it's pretty likely this will get attacked. And we'll end the turn there. See what the green player does. Teal player is going to come and attack us, and that's going to be quite a tough fight, and I'm hoping it won't lead to Galthran having to turn around, but that does seem like a possibility. So it kind of depends to some extent, I guess, on how many spell points Mephala has left. So there is another hero coming to attack us as well. Okay, we're expected to win, that's great, and that's just the AI doing that. So we might actually be able to get a slightly better result. Okay, they blind our Archangels, come in and attack the Crusaders. Okay. I have got quite an array of spells here. If I use Meteor Shower, I can hit these 3 stacks at once, and that's actually going to be pretty nice, so let's do it. Completely take out the Zealots. These guys aren't quite going to get the kill, but we can pretty much just waste the Crusaders just to absorb that retaliation. We've only got the 2 left, so it should be fine. Let's try and weaken these as much as we can, as wow, that did pretty much nothing, but that is the armorer's specialty in action. So we'll absorb the retaliation, get ourselves killed, that's fine. Bring these forward. She does have 150 spell points, which is maybe slightly concerning. But she will be casting spells for the whole fight. This should get us our first kill against these. Plus we curse them, but that does nothing because they do constant damage either way. Okay, first Archangel does go down now, and arrow towers are doing quite a lot of damage to that. They resurrect instead of attacking, which is a very poor decision. And what should we use now? That's the question. We're definitely going to win this very handily. So let's call the slightly questionable Aislinn attack earlier Blessing in Disguise, because I don't think anyone else could have defended this town. And maybe I can use Clone right this time. But these guys only have 45 health left, and unfortunately I can't bless the Dread Knights to guarantee the kill, but I could literally just magic arrow them. They have already gone though. Plus, champions might be able to get that kill regardless. Or maybe not. I could also, of course, cure my Archangels. Or anti-magic them. As yeah, that does actually cure them as well, so that's good. We're going to wait with these. These guys can guarantee the kill, plus we could instead go for the Zealots, which is also very tempting. Which does enable them to reach us, but that's fine. We do have Resurrection if we need it. We'll take those out. We will not hit them with these. Of course, I did forget that the champions are blinded, so we can't actually use those. Could finish the Archangel off with the skeletons, but arrow towers will actually finish them off either way. Gonna weaken this slightly. Okay, so this is expected to do very little damage considering it's 157 of them. Guaranteed to kill though. I think I would just like to get rid of them. That way we guarantee we go first next round. What it's worth. And these guys still have all their health. If we get a nice double attack, that'd be great, but no we don't. Do curse them though, and they do a little bit of damage back, but nothing too bad. These guys can resurrect. Probably going to be better off attacking though. No, I think I prefer to take out the marksman. Okay, takes out quite a few skeletons with that spell, unfortunately, but that's fine. Archangels are still alive and healthy, from what I can see. We'll go and hit these again. Didn't do too much damage back, and they are mostly taken out now. Archangel's still just about alive. She wants to cast an area of effect spell, which she definitely could. That is going to wake up our champions, so that's not the worst thing on earth. Although actually, it looks like we've just won the fight anyway. So let's resurrect something. Still can't reanimate dead. We did lose some Crusaders, but I think the champions are sitting on top of them, unfortunately. So can't go for those. Okay, we're just going to bring back some marksmen. And that's Mephala out of the game. Losses weren't too bad, all things considered, and that was their strongest hero, plus we get all of her artifacts, which I didn't even think about, but that's great. I think we got an extra copy of Resurrection. Let's just have a look at what we got from that fight, because we should probably equip some of it. So, Equestrian's Gloves. She's going to be mostly defending, so we won't bother with that. Animate Dead, we might have had that the whole time, thinking about it. I hope we didn't, because we could have really used that in the previous fight, but never mind. Like I said, it was a blessing in disguise, and I think it's mostly okay. Okay, so we do have Prayer, we have Slow, and I think that's just about it for the actual useful spells, so I think we're good. Just to not do anything else, we're gonna recruit the Royal Griffins, and Galthran could go and focus down Sylvia, but I think I'd prefer to go and attack the towns instead. I do wish I could speed him up somehow, but I don't think that's going to be an option. Okay, so Sylvia's over here somewhere. We're just going to go north. Charna we're going to keep bringing over, even though it's very unlikely at this point she'll do anything. She's not, like, crazy far away, and plus, we can use her as a defender if Sylvia does show up and try to attack us later. She's not actually too far from there now, so she might actually be able to help keep that alive. Cuthbert is coming to attack us, and he's pretty weak, so we don't need to worry about that at all. See what this is, basic first aid, okay, fair enough. We'll visit the stables, we'll take the ore pit, and we don't actually need any of that stuff, but might as well take it since it's there. Voy. I still think it's probably worth chasing down a few of Teal's heroes with Voy, just to tick that off slightly sooner. And Shakti has kind of served his purpose at this point. We already have a defender in this town. We will buy the mausoleum. Potentially take a few extra liches, perhaps. Could even get the vampires and send those over. And that might actually be a pretty good idea, so let's actually... We're going to send Shakti through the teleporter, and next turn we're going to think about sending Galthran, not Galthran, but the defender of that town, over to Shakti to pass over a few units. Okay, so Moendor's gonna go and pick up some of this gold. A couple of leprechauns to visit too. Alagar's gonna... I'm pretty tempted just to tuck him in, so we don't have to think about him. Same with Gerd. Just do anything with her. We do have to tuck someone in order to get our next hero transport out of his base. I could actually dismiss Gerd, like, it doesn't really matter that much. I think I will. She's done her job. Well, actually I can't chain this turn. Okay, that's fine. We will end the turn. Pretty sure we're not threatened by green anywhere. I would really like to take another fight with Galthran just to actually pick up an even more absurd number of liches, but Obviously the fights against Green's heroes will still result in a few extra liches, but nothing like the kinds of numbers we were getting with skeletons. But yeah, in theory it's possible to get just as many liches as you do skeletons. So for example, if Charna had that artifact, instead of having 1,400 skeletons right now, she'd have 1,400 liches, which is very clearly overpowered. But the teal player is... I mean, I'm fairly happy just to accept that, take a few extra... Recanter's Cloak is a very strong artifact. A few extra artifacts. We won't actually use the Recanter's Cloak because it's more of a might hero type of artifact. It's not too useful on spellcasters, as Christian is pretty pointless. I assume we don't equip the Recanter's Cloak by default, but what that does is it prevents the casting of spells that are level 3 or higher, which is not good because it would stop us from using our specialty, so obviously that is something to be avoided. Gerd is going to drop off the peasants, and actually let's take one peasant back. And she and the peasant are going to go off and live happily ever after in peace somewhere with her stoic watchman, which I would not even put the effort in of keeping, because it's that bad. It's an absolutely awful artifact, and it won't be missed. Yeah, we'll visit the water wheel, and we'll visit the leprechaun too. Voy. It's not really doing too much, but we are going to attempt to chase down another teal hero. I think they do still have a couple left in this area, or at least one. And then over in our second Necropolis town, which is not this one here. I can't even count how many towns we have at this point. We are going to get the upgraded estate, and we're going to upgrade all of these, and that's an extra 20 vampire lords potentially to pass over, which is of course going to be extremely powerful, as we can't quite reach Shakti this turn, but that's fine. We'll send Shakti back. We will pick up the vampire lords and the liches, and I think we can afford to leave the 69 skeletons behind at this point. And we're just going to follow Galthran as closely as we can. Might take a little bit of time before we can catch up to him, but another piece of good news about Galthran being in this area is we don't really have too much to actually defend Castleatus with, but him being here does make it a lot harder for the green player to actually go for that attack. And we have already been here the first time we came to conquer that particular town, but we're going to go to the north, and I'm not sure how far we'll have to go before we encounter Green's town, but I'm pretty confident this is the way. There is a way underground there which leads to this little no man's land. That's completely pointless. We're not going to bother going down there. Charna is just going to come over. We'll upgrade her, let's have a look, knowledge, and we're just going to send her in this general direction to potentially defend what's left of our towns. Moendor is going to keep picking this stuff up. And Alagar is good as he is. I'm just going to go ahead and delete these, because looking at Alagar is confusing me at this point. We don't need that stuff. It's going to be safe either way, and we are good. Actually, before we end the turn, we should get the town hall. And Erdeman is not a terrible hero. Does come with basic estates, so in a very long time he will pay for himself. But the thing about that is, I'm hoping we are pretty much at the very end of the game now. I would normally have ended the part up by now, but I think we are pretty close to actually closing this out, with Galthran himself leading the charge, as it should be. As I think that could have been Sylvia. Okay, expect to take no losses there. A few extra artifacts that we don't need. So we're going to send Shakti first and foremost towards Galthran. He can almost reach, so I will turn Galthran around and pick that stuff up. A few extra vampires always going to be helpful. Let's take those. Let's take the liches. Wait, that's the wrong way around. Other way around. And there's a small chance that Shakti could get surprised and attacked, but worst case scenario, we lose an Archangel, we lose the Scales of the Greater Basilisk, and it's not really that important either way, shouldn't really affect anything. I am going to go straight for the Green Town. As much as I would like to chase down Sylvia, I think we need to really go for this guy now. Have we already visited his stable this week? I mean, we haven't visited those particular stables, but I'm not sure if it would come up saying that we have if we'd visited another stable instead. Honestly, I think we're moving fast enough that we can just ignore it, just in case. And unfortunately there is a branching path, so I might have to go ahead, cast a spell. This reveals the location of opposing towns, so we know that we just need to follow this to the west, and we will find his final town. Then we follow this path to the north, we go underground, and then we can... Actually, that's quite some way from the Conflux town, but we should be able to reach it pretty soon. And hopefully Grindon will come to attack us again. He shouldn't, but he might. This hero we're going to send around the path. So I know it takes an awful long time, but I kind of messed up my PC settings recently so that like the animations have started taking longer, and I don't like it when the animations are like too fast that you can't really tell what's going on, but that is a little bit slower than I would like. I am hoping to get a new PC soon. You would think that a game as old as this should run perfectly, but it is the HD mod with its various enhancements that slows it down, even though it shouldn't. So this area is pretty much like neutral heaven. So many halflings and peasants and all sorts of other things just available to us. We couldn't have got through there, so the only way was to go underground, although thinking about it, it looks like you probably can get through in this kind of area here. But that's actually a pretty ideal starting area for Necropolis town as well. As this hero is almost on the cusp of becoming useless, I think. Okay, we're going to drop Callback back in the town so we don't have to think about him anymore, and we'll get a few extra skeletons just to help defend, which we shouldn't need, but we'll get them anyway. And we'll end the turn, see what green does. I don't think anyone's coming to attack us. So he does have a very large number of heroes, but if we take his two towns, he's going to have to come and attack us somewhere. I'm pretty sure that's Sylvia. Okay, Teal's actually run out of time. Those 7 days went pretty quickly. I am going to send this guy... I think we'll just scout with him, because he's not really got enough to actually take any fights. And we will send him back to the town, just to drop off the Archangel, which might make us very slightly more able to defend if we get attacked. Take the extra spell power, and we can now go straight to the Jugular of High Castle, which is the original town of the green player. We are expected to take a small number of losses that honestly, like, let's just accept it. We get 37 liches back for that, so obviously a very good trade. And now we're going to follow this path, I think. There might be a better way. If we cross the lava terrain, there might be a better option. The Redwood Observatory is a little bit of a detour, but we do have loads of spare resources, so let's get Erdeman. Let's send him up just to reveal the map to us. And we're going to find the way to the next town, so it looks like we do just follow the path. And we should reach the Conflux town pretty soon. We'll be setting ourselves up for a pretty big fight with Galthran once again. There is also this guy, Theodorus, who is just strong enough that he could probably take the town off us, annoyingly. And because he does still have a town left, he doesn't have to recklessly charge in, so we might have to potentially take that detour, which would be kind of annoying, but it's still looking very good, obviously. We're going to take this guy down here, and I'm going to send her up in this direction as well, just in case something very unexpected happens. It is literally just the green player left now, and there shouldn't be too much to actually threaten us. This hero, I think, has also served its purpose, so we're going to camp that. The final bit of scouting down here. I'm going to camp this hero too. And Moendor. Pick up some peasants, and we'll camp him too. And at this point, I'm pretty much planning to just stop using anyone who's not Galthran or what's her name? Charna, because those two should be able to handle everything green can throw at us perfectly fine. Okay, so Theodorus actually town portals straight back into the Conflux town. That's actually a very good thing. It's going to make it much easier to run him down without taking a really painful detour. Sylvia could still be a big problem. She is coming towards Castellatus, I think. I'm hoping she hasn't restocked since the last time we fought her, because then we can probably fight her off. Yeah, she's still only got a few phoenixes left, and I'm pretty sure, with it being day 7, we should be completely safe. Because we will restock immediately at the start of the next week. We will take... Let's take a Griffin, actually, because we might still end up scouting for something. And that's pretty much Shakti done. I'm going to camp him too. Charna's not actually too far from Sylvia. We'll see if we can reach her. And Galthran can travel a fairly reasonable distance. We're going to ignore pretty much everything that's not a green player or a green hero. There's Theodorus. He's pretty close. I'm pretty tempted just to fight him, but annoyingly he is pretty likely to try and run away at the start of the next turn. Got over 100k in the bank if we need it, but I'm pretty sure we're all safe now. Theodorus actually stays in place, which is great. Sometimes the AI doesn't really know what to do, and just tries to avoid everything. Buries its head in the sand, but that makes it pretty easy to deal with. Don't have to waste too many movement points on that as well. That actually travelled a very long way. Lizard man population has doubled, but this town is completely safe anyway, so it's not actually going to affect anything. Well, actually it is, because these horde of lizard men are now in the way of Charna. We'll scare them off. And we'll continue moving in that direction, but I think it's pretty likely that Sylvia is going to come and attack. She might not, because once we've restocked here, we will probably be much stronger than her, even in the opinion of the AI player, but at some point they're going to lose their last town. Okay, expect to take a few losses there. 10 liches, I'd rather not, even though it's not too many. Okay, so that's how the liches die. Send these down, see if they get resurrected from the dead, which yes they do. No one else can quite reach us. Okay, so we're going to reanimate the liches. Take out the griffins. This guy's got 89 spell points, so he could be a bit of a threat. Okay, just runs away. That's fine. And because we're on the stone path, this is going to be pretty effortless. Also, it's actually a good thing that we can fight these, because of course that's another 17 liches, easy as anything. Another 17 liches potentially down here too. We'll definitely take that trade. And we can immediately go for his last town. It's going to force him to pretty much immediately throw all of his heroes at us. As I should have actually split the liches just to make this slightly simpler, but it's going to be completely fine either way. Okay, I'm hoping these can reach us. No, they can't. Not even close. Okay, fine. So we're going to have to use animated again. Shouldn't really matter too much because we should get all our spell points back immediately upon entering the town, which unfortunately we're not quite able to get there. So I wouldn't be surprised if this guy goes and tucks himself into the town at the last possible moment. I will actually buy these. I'm not sure why the green player hadn't bought these already. I guess it's the very start of a new week, and phoenixes of course do grow by 4 per week instead of the usual 2 per week. It's got a level 5 mage guild, which includes fly, which we're still not going to use, even though it's nowhere near as well. It's kind of debatable which is more overpowered out of the Cloak of the Undead King and Fly. I would have to go for the Cloak, but like I said, exceptional circumstances and all that. We're going to park Erdemorn over in High Castle, and we're just going to stock up on everything we can. See if we've got a better hero available to us. So Straker is probably slightly better than this guy, but I don't really care enough to do anything about that. And because Charna and Galthran have already moved, I am pretty content just to end the turn there, although we will attempt to take Shakti to safety, just because we know that he's going to get attacked next turn, or at least it seems pretty likely. And we'll just end the turn there. So he actually runs away, not willing to fight us. But green now has no towns, so he's got 7 days to take one back. As I'm not sure who this is. If Grindon goes to attack any town other than the one that Galthran is guarding, that could be pretty bad, as Sylvia does come to attack us, so we're expected to win with some fairly heavy losses. That's not ideal, because it makes it much harder to defend. I wouldn't be surprised if Grindon ends up coming for this town, or another much weaker town, which would absolutely not be ideal. Okay, so our spell options are fairly limited. We do have a sorcery specialty, which enables us to do a decent amount of damage, but with no specialties we're not going to do too much, and having been slowed, it might be more useful just to haste someone instead. Champions can do a nice amount of the phoenixes, though they're slightly trapped. So I think if we hit these, they will resurrect themselves. If we single out the magic elementals, we hit them from the side, we can potentially reach the ice elementals next turn. I think in terms of their ranged units, they're probably slightly better than us. Okay, so we're going to lose a few archangels. I think that's okay. These guys won't quite get both kills, so we're going to wait. These guys are too slow, so we're going to just send them up to the top of the base. We're going to weaken these. So yeah, that should enable the champions to take them out. Let's wait with these, and with these. Move these guys up too. Champions take these out. Now the magic elementals can attack both the halberdiers and champions at the same time. If they want to go for that, that shouldn't be too bad. 2 archangels go down to a single lightning bolt there. That's pretty nasty. I don't think we have resurrection. No. Can't resurrect ourselves either, so can't actually use the archangel's ability to our advantage too much there. And also can't avoid being hit by the magma elementals if we do go to attack the storm elementals instead. Still pretty tempted to haste. But no, I think we will try to preserve these. We'll go and attack magic elementals instead. It's okay. They're going to do lots of damage to us because they do have much better stats. Teleporting is potentially an option. So I think there are some limitations to it if you don't have the water magic skill, but friendly unit to any unoccupied spot on the battlefield, so presumably if we just do this, and then... Okay, so it's not any unoccupied spot at all, because we can't actually send it over the wall. That's kind of not very helpful at all. Okay, I'm going to haste them instead. Should have the same purpose, and we can just go up. So the ice elementals have a melee penalty, which makes them probably the better choice of victim. Plus they're stronger. We get morale, that's great. Swing around to get the jousting bonus, do a bit more. These guys will throw out the magma elementals. And we should have actually waited, but it's fine. Okay, so they're taken out. So it's just the 2 range stacks left now. She's probably going to go for another nasty spell. Wouldn't be surprised if she lightning bolts the archangels. Our own lightning bolt does 95 damage. Which is okay. I think we should haste instead. Use the jousting bonus to hit these. We'll resurrect them, which does make the hasting a bit pointless, but I think that's okay. These guys are just going to defend. These guys will weaken these. Got good morale. So Sylvia was actually Green's starting hero. Grendon is a conflux hero, so that would explain why she's so good. If we lightning bolt, they're vulnerable to fire. These guys are vulnerable to lightning. Let's go for that. Weaken those, send these forward, hit these. They're still reasonably healthy, she can take them out with a lightning bolt, but I think that's a risk we have to take. Bit of morale, so let's finish them off. Okay, she actually bolts them instead. That's completely fine. What? Okay, fine, they landed in the moat. Alright, I think that might have actually been worse than what the AI did. I'm not sure, I could be wrong. But we do get resurrection from that as a spell scroll. Plus lots of level ups. We'll go for basic fire magic because we do have quite a few fire magic spells. That wasn't bad for a level 5 hero, all things considered. Basic learning, that's completely pointless, but pretty much all our heroes are pointless now. Galthran, I think we really need to find out exactly where Grendon is. There's Tyrus, he's not a complete pushover, but he shouldn't be able to take the town on his own. Dan's fairly weak. I'm pretty sure he had a much bigger force before, so he must have passed that over to someone else. I think we're going to have to go for View Air once again, just to find out exactly where these guys are. So, it's one by the windmill, one by the war machine factory, and that appears to be it for the underground. If we check overground, we can see... I can't actually see any of them. There's quite a lot to look at. But I can't see any sign of any green hero. Which would be a good thing, because we definitely want to fight Grendon with Galthran, or Charna. Okay, let's have a look. So there was someone by the war machine to the west. Tyrus, we already checked on that guy. Someone by the windmill, which is Vidamina, who is not a pushover. She's got several phoenixes on her. So she could be a threat. Could actually take Straker just to defend this town. He's not the best choice though. We'll still recruit him because I think we might end up needing him. Okay, so that hero has several phoenixes, which there's no way that Straker would survive an attack. However, we immediately steal Sylvia. So that's actually fantastic news. Let's send everything back apart from the zombies, and we're just going to get rid of Straker because we really don't need him. And he's just going to be a distraction. Gonna have to do it. I can't dismiss him. Because he's in the town. There we go. Okay. Get rid of him. And so I'm sure that Galthran must be somewhere. Not Galthran. Grindon. Let's have another look. Okay, so Vidamine is actually his strongest hero, so I can't remember fighting Grindon at all. Unless Grindon was in one of the weaker towns or something, and got completely thrown away. He wasn't the best hero in terms of stats. I think it's more likely that he's still alive. I will rewatch the turn. So we know about this guy. We know about this guy too. This hero, that might be Grindon. Can't remember if that's what elementalists actually look like, but we'll have a look. Fear that could be him. Yeah, okay, so that's Grindon. He's coming with a few archangels. He's not actually too tough. With a few angels too. But we have less here than I thought just because of that previous fight where we used Sylvia. But Charna is actually going to do something, so that's actually a pretty good outcome. I thought that she was completely pointless this whole time, but in fact, she's going to finish off Grindon once and for all. As we're expected to win that pretty comfortably, but I'm going to take the fight myself just so we can actually enjoy using her in a proper fight for once. As Grindon will get to go first. Good tactics. We can send our skeletons right forward into the action. I think somewhere like that should be fine. If they attack the bone dragons from this particular hex, that will stop the skeletons from reaching them, but someone else will come to attack the skeletons, so it shouldn't be a big issue. Let's try that. Okay, so they come forward, they go for the skeleton warriors. Spell options, we've got, in particular, lots of good water spells. I could go for Berserk. I'm pretty torn between Water Elemental and Berserk. They cost exactly the same amount. We do have Animate Dead, so it might be better to actually save our spell points just to keep using that. We're going to attack these. I've got that +3 luck too, which is going to help a lot. We'll go for the 53 marksman. Those guys come and attack the skeleton warriors, which is completely fine. These guys are actually going to go for the big stack of skeletons and immediately get killed. Absolutely nothing's going to stand up to that. These guys will be able to survive anything we throw at them. Okay. I think we will go for the angels. These guys can go finish off the marksman. And at best these can shoot one stack, these have too much HP to go down. I think we will instead go for griffins. Mummies are finally going to get involved. We're going to reanimate a few of the skeleton warriors, and we're going to attack the griffins with the mummies, take them out, take out the angel, and this stack will completely destroy the archangels. This guy can't flee, obviously he has no town, so he has to fight to the bitter end. As I think it is just these wyverns left. can't remember how many wraiths we lost. But obviously the real stack is the skeletons, so we're going to focus on those. As, yeah, 65 extra skeletons is going to be good. And we have officially taken out Grindon, so we don't have to worry about him ever again. We've got yet another endless bag of gold, and we've made it to level 23. As I'm pretty sure there's nothing else they can do now, but we'll send Charna back to her original base to try and defend that in case he does throw something at it somehow. And we're going to send Galthran to chase down Vidamina, as the town should be pretty safe. Only Vidamina can actually threaten it, and plus we got Sylvia to guard it. She's going to do a pretty good job. So we will end the turn. Might end up having to chase a few heroes down, which could be pretty annoying. As you can probably tell, of course we didn't actually need the Cloak of the Undead King in order to win this map, but it's a bit of fun. As I think Galthran can actually take out these heroes next turn. And what I will do is I'll send Sylvia after this particular hero. And I think that might just be all of the heroes Green has. As yeah, none of them move. Charna's a bit too far away to actually do anything, but we'll send Sylvia, who has now betrayed the green player, over to finish him off with Thant. Galthran is going to go for the last big fight of the game. Going to be against this hero. Obviously expected to win very easily, but she does have 7 phoenixes. Goes straight for the liches and takes very heavy losses indeed. We can pretty much just wipe out any stack we like at this point. The magic elementals could be slightly awkward. We're going to go for these initially. Okay, they actually come back with 3. I don't think this is going to get the kill, but we'll go for it. No, it doesn't quite get the kill. Okay. Instead of going for the phoenixes, I'm going to go and take out the sprites, because they are quite awkward to deal with, and I think we'll go for a mass haste, which I keep forgetting that we actually have expert air magic. Should have obviously gone for that much sooner, but we'll go and hit the magic elementals, which are not going to go down to anything else. Energy elementals get themselves killed. She goes for the mass slow. That's kind of annoying because I want to start animating dead now. Not that it matters. Let's go for mass haste once again. Take these out very easily with our absurd number of liches, and obviously we will take losses. We could reanimate them all, but there's no real benefit to doing so other than wasting a bit of time. We do get another copy of the Vampire's Cowl and the Orb of Silt, which is actually pretty decent. I think we will equip that, not that we need it, but just for the sake of a bit of overkill, as I realise I've forgotten to actually equip the Pendant of Courage, but we can't do it anyway because we are already wearing the Cloak of the Undead King. So instead, take the Orb of Silt, and we'll equip it over the Charm of Mana. And Tyrus, annoyingly, is just about going to survive for one more turn. We'll then turn there, as yeah, that is the final hero. We go for the attack. A bit more than I expected. They're going to come forward. All nicely gathered up, so I can just... I don't have Chain Lightning on this particular hero, but I could Meteor Shower. Yeah, I'll take these out, finish these off. Skeleton Warriors will take these out, and then finish these off, and that is the campaign, not the campaign, the map officially over. Definitely the longest game of Heroes 3 I've ever played, but we finally won it. And we're still not on top. We were beaten by a previous attempt from, I'm not sure when that was actually. 55 days apparently. It's the same score, so joint first place. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed it. The next playthrough is going to be my first foray into the Horn of the Abyss mod. I'm going to be playing a map called the Great Wasteland, which is a new map that's come out at the start of 2020. It shows off the new Wasteland terrain, which has just been added into the Horn of the Abyss mod. And I will be playing through that map, so do check out the playlist link in the description if I've already started it. If not, then keep an eye on the channel, it will be up soon. Otherwise, thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.